Hello, warriors. Welcome to the You Movement. I am B. And who is that? Today, I want to talk a little bit about social anxiety, autism, and authenticity, because this is what has been coming up for me in the last little while. This last new moon, I describe as having a shower with 1,000 paper cuts. It's been stingy. The anxiety that I've been experiencing for the last, 10 days or so has been over the top. Let's just call it as it is. And it's, of course, when any energy or emotion is surfacing, it's because it's coming up to be released, right? And for me, recently, I got a new editing software called Descript, and it's all new to me, learning new things, and that's why the flow of videos has slowed dramatically. There's a couple of videos that I made, and then it got bottlenecked in the editing process, and then I lost my mojo, and they didn't make it onto film. Because how I used to film was, I'm just going to film this, and I'm going to from my phone. There you go. There was no editing. There was no fanciness to it. And I got a couple of comments that, stayed with me along the way that made me judge myself because of how I speak. And there's an example. And, those types of filler words, somebody criticized me for that. And somebody else was like, your videos are way too long, you need to make them shorter. So in this whole editing process, I've been trying to clean it all up. And as I'm listening, I'm hearing the pitch of my voice, and I'm like, oh, I don't like it. We need to fix it. We need to clean it up. And there's an AI dude on the editing software, and he's playing around with the EQ. And what it turned into is an exercise of self-hatred, is what it turned into, because I picked absolutely, when it's the same when you're sewing. I don't know, I used to be a seamstress many moons ago, and when you're sewing, you're looking at something so close, and no customer is going to look at it that close. But to me, if a stitch was out of place, I'd be like, oh no, I gotta fix that. And it's the same when you're editing yourself. You're microscopically looking at yourself and listening to yourself. And I didn't like it. Because, I didn't like me. I haven't liked me my whole life. And because of that, I've always morphed and masked and tried to be something else. And there's a lot of wounding in relation to how I speak. Now, I was born in 1972, so I don't know if you guys remember this movie. There was a movie that came out in the 70s at some point called Jacob Tutu and the Hooded Fang. And Jacob Tutu repeated everything he said twice. And apparently I do that too. I have a wee stutter that I never really kind of noticed. I'll go, and at the beginning. And I've been trying to mask that one my whole life because I got ridiculed for it at home, primarily, more than anywhere else. In my household dynamic, and this may be the case for a lot of people who discover that they're autistic down the line, is you're not normal, right? You do things, you say things, you speak in a way, your cadence might be slightly off. And so learning to look normal and learning to speak normal was my primary objective, because in my household, I was the butt of the joke. There was entertainment. I was the fodder for entertainment. And it became the conditioning within the household to make fun of me. And so my brother was roped in at a young age, and I don't harbor ill will towards him because this was his programming, right? Just like I was programmed, he was programmed. So we were both programmed to entertain my mother, and her entertainment, her joy was watching him make fun of me. And so, he'd crack a joke at my expense and she'd laugh hysterically. And then, so he was trained from a young age to crack jokes. So I grew up hearing and granted, it's not politically correct now, but nobody had an issue with it then, what are you, retarded? So I really didn't want to be retarded. I was scared my whole life of being retarded. That was one of the jokes. And then there were jokes about being like Jacob Tutu. And, because I would go, I, and he'd go, I. And that was really uncomfortable. And it meant holding in a lot, because you couldn't say, please don't make fun of me, or don't do that, or get upset, because then the joke got better for my mother, who was narcissistic, because then I'd get there would be a reaction. So this is a form of reactionary abuse, is when people mock and prod and are sarcastic. My household was exceptionally sarcastic household. And so if I reacted, which I did, then it got even better, right? Then it became a feeding frenzy, because narcissistic people are vampiric in their energetic suctioning and siphoning off your emotions. And so then it exacerbated into this whole situation that was humiliating. So it was a practice of humiliation rituals. Really. Of course, we didn't have those names. I didn't have those names back then. And so how it went is I would say or do something with my hands, or say something, and then a joke would crack, and it would be like, ba-dum-bum, and then I'd get hurt because I'm autistic and highly sensitive, and who wants their mother and brother making fun of them? Nobody. And then I'd get upset, and I'd, react, and then she'd delight upon the feast that was my energy pouring out. So reactionary abuse is something I've been experiencing since I was little. And I was desperate to find ways to mask, to morph myself into normality. And I would spend endless... I'm just going to add here, I'm not going to edit this video. In fact, I don't think I'm going to edit any of my videos in the future. So if I and do anything else, just be forewarned. Sorry. But that's how I speak until my social anxiety goes away. And I don't know when that's going to be. It's been 4 years so far on this awakening path, and it hasn't gone away yet. So I'm letting you know, this is an exercise in me learning to love myself. And my loving myself is more important than whether you like how I sound or not. Sorry. Not sorry. So, sorry, I got turned around there. But I used to spend hours in my room staring at a mirror trying to control my face. Because in reactionary abuse, I'd get shock, horror, and then... because my reactions were so big, it created more hysterics. So I would stare at a mirror for hours and hours and hours, trying to make my face look normal or not do what it was doing. I would practice trying to control all the muscles, because I was born with this Jim Carrey face that you can't hide how I'm reacting. You can't hide my upset. You can't hide my shock, my horror, anything, nothing. My face is truthful, which is why I learned I might as well be truthful too because my face is going to say it anyways. And I also got heavily involved in theater because it gave me a place to practice speaking and voice training. And I loved that. That was very useful for me. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to deal with the social anxiety that I was experiencing within my household. You know, the one place you're supposed to be safe and learn safety is home. But when your home isn't safe, and you cultivate social anxiety, which for me lands right in the heart space, because it's like, oh, that hurts. You go out into the world and you assume others are going to mock and hurt you too, which is exactly what I did, which is reenactment abuse. Is you seek people with similar energies. So I sought the cool kids. I wanted the cool kids, the mean girls, to like me. So desperately, I wanted them to like me. Which, it just opened me wide open to be, experience more of this type of abuse. And then when I came home and I was upset because something happened at school and I was crying, my mother would make fun of me even more and blame me and be like, well, what did you do? You must have done something stupid. You must have said something. You must, there's one common denominator and it's you. See, even I have been trained instinctively to just laugh at putting myself down. And so as a woman, an autistic woman, undiagnosed, doing weird autistic things, developing social anxiety because at home I was humiliated routinely, and then I'd go out into the world and I'd try to socialize, but I had no skills. And so I tried, looked for love in all the wrong places amongst friendships from the beginning. And then from boys, I was boy mad from the time I was way little. Please love me, please pay attention to me, because I was trying to recreate as well the dynamics with the men in my family structure. My mother liked to hold court. She was the queen, and then my dad did her bidding. Whatever she said, he did. Otherwise, he would be also abused. The way she spoke to him was horrific. It was terrible. So I learned that men were weak and basically did what they were told, is what I learned. And then my brother, as I said, used sarcasm and ridicule to play the jester, and I was the roast. So it was, it was like the black sheep was put for dinner and was the roast. And this was the dynamic. And so the first thing that I found, as I've talked about in many videos, is, we've got some geese coming. These are my new friends. I had a lovely otter swim up here earlier, which was very nice, that seems to live under my dock. They don't make fun of me. They seem to like me, although they're a little bit loud because they've got all new babies in the geese community here. That is my community. These are my peoples now, and smoking. And it was, funnily enough, my first ever cigarette was given to me by my bully. The girl that I wanted so desperately to like me and routinely was nasty to me. I said in a recent video, she in the last few years has since apologized to me and gave me an authentic, a real apology. I was blown away. Real apologies do exist. As unbelievable it is. I think she's probably up there as one of the only people that has ever genuinely apologized to me for how they treated me. So I forgave her. Would I be going for dinner with her or anything? No, probably not. But I don't harbor any ill will towards her whatsoever. You know, I know that bullies are born because they themselves have experienced pretty shitty things, and she was open and honest with that, and you know, that's how she coped. But you know, the differences between her and a lot of other people is she owned it, right? When you own something and you do different, because you can't just apologize, right? Like, I'm sorry, and then do the same thing over and over again. Like that's not atoning. That's ridiculous. And I kind of think that a lot of, you know, forgiveness, or more to the point, apologies, is the most nonsensical bullshit out there, because we've been indoctrinated to believe that if you go into a little box with a man in a robe and say, I'm sorry, Father, forgive me for my sins, and then you walk out and you're just absolved, right? And then you just go do it again. Like, I'm sorry, no. Confession alone is not atonement. Confession, and man, I've had some of those. Confession and then atonement comes after, which means requires repair, fixing the behaviors, not doing it again, not repeating the same thing over and over and again. Because otherwise, you're not really absolved of your sins if you just keep on sinning. That's not how it works, regardless of what a man in a cloth says. I think God has something else to say about that, or karma for that matter. And so we were outside one day, grade 9, and she's like, "Here, you want a cigarette?" And I was like, well, if that's what the cool kids are doing, that's what I'm going to have to do too. If that's what's going to make you respect me, make me like you, yeah, sure. And within my first couple of drags, I was hooked. Oh my God, I was hooked. Regardless of what I thought it represented, because to me, it was always about trying to morph myself into the image that other people would like. And that was the cool chick. I wanted to be the cool chick, really, really bad. But smoking is a stim. Of course, I didn't know anything about stims back there. Didn't even know the word stim. But with your hands, it keeps your hands busy. So any weird shit that I might have done with my hands that made me look retarded, I had busy hands. It was great to have a cigarette in my hands. You'll notice I sit here and I'm like playing with stuff, right? Oh, touching, physically touching. So if you have a cigarette, you have an excuse. Here's a good sized cigarette. That's more like a cigar. But you have an excuse to be like, oh, you know, I got to play with my ash. I got to put this in my mouth. So now it's an oral stim. Yum. Oh, this is fabulous. And it also sucks back all of this social anxiety. That I can feel normal. I can feel in this moment fantastic. So I went in a split second at the age of 15 from being a non-smoker to a very heavy duty. I literally went to the store after school at age 15 and bought myself a pack of cigarettes. Now, back then, like, they didn't becardin you. They just cared about the sale, and there weren't any laws or anything. So the fact that I was 15, they didn't seem to care. And there you go. I started smoking. Du Maurier was my brand. And I was very committed. I was loyal to my cigarettes because my cigarettes were my cure to social anxiety. Until I needed more, until that wasn't enough. And that just came a year later. Age 16 is when I started drinking, you know, because this is when you're starting to go to parties and the social etiquette, the social norm gets jacked up. Because now being cool is like, how much can you drink? How much can you be the joke of the party? So in drinking, I could, because I'm so already trained to be the butt of the joke, I can drink a lot and become the show. I can become the buffoon. I can self-debase like nobody's business. Because if I crack the joke before you crack the joke, and get everybody laughing, then they're not laughing at me, they're laughing with me, right? I'm like circumventing the ridicule by creating the comedy so that I'm directing how I get laughed at now. Because I'm assuming on some subconscious level that I'm going to get laughed at regardless. So I might as well direct it in a way that means that I'm in control. Only the problem is alcohol is very hard to control. Especially when you have a very low tolerance and you're not as good as you think you are in regards to drinking. Then the humiliation ritual becomes a self-fulfilling humiliation ritual. Getting blackout drunk, doing like, oh my God, embarrassing things. And so it became a self-fulfilling prophecy of doing stupid shit and then feeling utter mortification, like utter mortification of like, what the fuck did I do last night? And oh my God. And people would be like, don't worry about it. You were hilarious. It was hilarious. We had a great night, you know? And meanwhile, you yourself are like, oh, geez, I remember flipping tables. I remember getting kicked out of a pub. I remember like, oh, acting a total tool. Oh, I remember, oh, who the fuck is this dude? Yeah, so, alcohol and me had a love-hate relationship because alcohol gave me the liquid courage to be in a room of people that I was terrified of sober. And it also perpetuated my programming of let's make fun of me and humiliate myself. Because it's almost like that's what I believed that I was kind of here to do, is just like be stupid and do stupid shit. Be the party girl, right? So then I'm wearing the mask that is party girl. You know, the fun, girls gone wild. Ah, show your tits. Ah, okay. So that became fun for people that probably also had a lot of social anxiety and were drunk out of their heads too, right? And that became my go-to. Of how I lived was, you know, you work Monday for Friday or whatever your work schedule is that you've got going on. And then when you're off work, you go balls to the wall. You know, you buy 2 packs of smokes, you hit the pub, you down the tequila. I loved my tequila. Like, tequila was the ultimate liquid courage because it burned in the place that burned. It like fed the fire in here of like, oh, I feel so uncomfortable. I feel so, you know, I always needed about 3 drinks to like get the ball rolling, and 3 shots of tequila, and it'd be party time. It would be party time. And on this awakening journey, I've gone through like such dramatic changes. I've had to find out who the fuck I am underneath all of this programming, all of this trauma, all of the addictions. And so the first thing that I did was gave up smoking. I actually transitioned from smoking cigarettes into smoking pot. And then I could be a new party girl, a different type of party girl, a chill out, like, oh yeah, man. I can play that role up now. So I replaced one role with another role. And along my awakening, you've even seen me. I've been, stripping away all the masks, because underneath the mask of the alcoholic fun girl was the mask of the cool smoker, the chilled out smoker chick. And then underneath that mask was the mask of all the trauma. And underneath all that mask was the mask of the inner child. And underneath that mask was, so there's been, this transitory period of time where I'm going through these shifts and changes, trying to figure out who the fuck I am. And, what the fuck I like. Because with these personas, with these attempts to be liked, right? That's what it all comes down to. It's all which of these is going to get me liked? Which hair color is going to get me liked? Am I going to be liked as blondes? Do blondes have more fun? Yes, I can actually report blondes do have more fun. How about the redhead, the sultry redhead in my life? I've had every hair color out there, like literally every hair color, except I think green. Not purposefully anyways. And that was before even dyeing your hair was the cool thing to do, because it was, and I've had every haircut known, like, let's style it this way, let's do it this way. Fashion sense. I had multiple wardrobes that I would wear for different, I would have my going to work wardrobe, which everybody has, and then I'd have we're going to visit my parents' wardrobe, so then I have to dress like a dutiful daughter outfit that's going to be pleasing enough for my mother to prevent her from laughing at what I'm wearing, And then I had my going out outfits that were like black with silver chains and sultry necklines and pleather pants. I loved my pleather pants and my fishnets. And then it was like the desexualization of myself, where I, for a stretch there on my awakening that's been filmed, I was living in men's clothes. I'm like, fuck off, leave me alone. This is my back off. And then in the last couple of months since I've been here, I'm like, I need soft clothes. My inner child needs soft clothes. I got myself all these like soft things to wear to just be soft. This is my soft era I'm going into, growing out my hair on one side, side short, and allowing myself to dress like me, to talk like me, to be me, and learn to love me, which means not being hypercritical on how I talk or what I wear or what I look like. Instead, learning to embrace my idiosyncrasies, my weirdnesses, my freak, and take back those words. In group meeting the other night, and if you haven't joined group, why not? In group the other night, we were talking about the word weird, and somebody was saying, you should use a different word. And I was like, no, I'm not scared of the word weird anymore, because I've integrated that word. It no longer has power over me, So what words have had power over me was retarded, weird, freak. Freak was a big one, because in high school I was told I was a freak a lot, and I hung with the freaks. I tried to hang with the sporty kids, and that wasn't me. And I tried to hang with the gymnasts. And yeah, that didn't go over well. And throughout life, I've tried to hang with different cliques and different groups, and always morphing myself and masking myself so that I could get socially accepted. So that the social anxiety that was here in my heart space would be numbed enough for me to exist. But the problem that is when you're not being authentically you, is you will show up every now and again. And whenever my me showed up in a group of people that didn't really resonate with me, like we weren't on the same frequency, we weren't, because I was masking. So I'm trying, it's not their fault, I'm trying to be something I'm not, and trying to like get this group or that group or, this guy or that guy to like me. The problem is when me shows up, there's times the mask falls. And I would show up and they'd be like, what? That's not who you are. It doesn't. And I would say or do something, and then the shit would hit the fan, because being autistic, I blurt things out, and I'm honest. So my autism would show its face, and I would say or do something that was socially not normal, or too blunt, or too judgmental, because one of the things that I have with this autism is, I've got a really very huge, strong sense of what's right and what's wrong. And most people don't live in that realm of extreme black and white thinking when it comes to what is right and what is wrong. And I couldn't conform myself to do things that I thought were ethically or morally wrong. I couldn't shut up. I couldn't tolerate it. Other people would be like, haha, it's just a joke, or it's not that big a deal. Why are you reacting this strongly? And I'd be like, because it's crazy. Why are you doing that? That's insane. And even like on my awakening, a perfect example I can give is like, at the beginning of my awakening in 2021, I was living out a childhood fantasy to become an actress. And I got myself an agent in Toronto, and it was like going to be a big deal. And part of this meant that I had to join an improv group. And this was like my childhood like dreams coming true, because all of a sudden I was in a clique. I was in a clique of people that were cool and young and hip and happening, and we'd get together every single Sunday and do improv, and we ended up filming a movie together. And I was like, all my dreams are coming true, people like me, I'm cool kid. And then there was a situation in the improv group where the director of the group sexually harassed a woman in the name of comedy, okay? But it you have to understand, it was a group where there were not just adults, there were teenagers, and there was a group where, it's a training place. It's not, it's not Saturday Night Live atmosphere. It's a training studio. And a guy in Hollywood, can't remember his name, he got in trouble for doing the exact same thing, for sexually harassing within a training environment. So the environment was supposed to be a safe container. And he decided that it was appropriate, because one of the women was very well endowed, to use Hooters as the place that we were doing improv. So he's specifically picking on her body parts and using that as a form of humor. And a lot of people got really offended. And I was like, oh no, this is the beginning of the end. Don't look at me. No, I didn't see that. I don't want to see that. And then everybody was like looking at me and talking to me, and I was like, oh no, if I get involved in this, I know it's going to blow up, and I'm going to not have my friends anymore. And
like I get premonitions of things, and in that moment I knew, and I couldn't look away. And there were a couple women near me, and they were like, "No, this isn't on. This isn't right. This is like this is sexual harassment." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck." So the situation, I sat back and I didn't want to say anything and I didn't want to do anything because I knew ultimately somehow it would blow up in my face, because I've had this experience so many times in my life. And lo and behold, it was sparking off. It was getting crazy, and the group was getting divided, and there was a lot of women that were like, this is so not right. And one of them, a younger woman in her early 20s, was like, okay, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to say something to our agent, because we all had the same agent, right? I'm going to say something to our agency. I'm going to fight this. And she ended up getting fired. And then I was like, oh, no, now you've really lit a fire under my ass. Now my sense of, like, my autism weirdness is gonna, like, step out from the shadows and have to say something. And she was like, I don't know what to do. I lost my job. And I'm like, oh, I write really big, powerful legal letters. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna get involved. So I got involved, and there's this whole back and forth of these legal letters being sent back and forth. And I am, like, defending her to the T, and defending the woman that, like, originally got sexually harassed. And so I've put on my authenticity, and I'm now stepped into myself, which is, like, I fight for the underdog. I don't fight for me very well, but when it comes to other people who are getting picked on, or things are wrong, that I have determined is ethically wrong, morally wrong, I get into my, like, superhero, like, Scrappy-Doo, and I'm like, I'm gonna save the day! And off I go, and I'm writing these letters back and forth, and it's getting heated, and I did protect her, and I did stand for something. As well as that, I quit my agent, which was my lifelong dream, to be an actress. And I was like, if you are not going to defend the women that are in your agency, then fuck you. I'm out. A bunch of other women quit too. And so it was this whole thing. And then the movie that we had filmed, the director was going to have, like, this premiere kind of event. And I made it very clear that, like, we shouldn't be going to this, and the only circumstance that we should be going to this was, if we're going in protest, wearing t-shirts that say, stop sexual assault, or, sexual harassment. Lo and behold, all my clique, that I loved these people so much, they didn't let me know that they were all going anyways, and I found out on Instagram at 3 o'clock in the morning. I saw all of them dressed in their finery, and it was like, oh, that heart space of social anxiety just came back, and it was like being hit, like, oh, no, like, I was crushed. I was, the betrayal I felt, and the devastation after standing up and fighting, and being my authentic me, and I was like, I'm at a choice point. I can't continue. Like, I walked away. Like, integrity is important to me, and I walked away from my life's dream to make a stand, and they all went. So that was the end of my clique, my end of my dream of being an actress, and the end of, having a sense of community. That was my last community that I've had since this awakening process. And then along this awakening process, I've been tested multiple times over with people coming in and having to deal with social anxiety and having to deal with very weird situations that have been like, okay, choice point, are you going to be your authentic self in this moment, Or are you going to mask and tolerate and try to repress yourself so that you are having a connection, so that you and ultimately each time I chose me. I chose me, which meant choosing to walk away from people that I loved, because the situation was such that either I am me or I am betraying me, right? So on the last weekend, I did an online retreat. Well, I did half of an online retreat. And the question that he left us with at that point was, in what ways do you betray yourself? And how I have betrayed myself is exactly everything I've been saying to you. Is I betrayed myself by sucking back all my anxiety of feeling uncomfortable around people that I never really should have been with in the first place, because I was scared that if I didn't fit in, then I'd have no one. I betrayed myself by drinking, again, to try to socially fit in and get myself liked. I betrayed myself by being people I wasn't. The cool chick, the party chick, the femme fatale, the wife. The laid back friend that it's all right, I'm chill, I'll just let that slide, and I'll just let that slide. But who I am is not those things. Who I am is somebody who's hypersensitive. And so I'm going to not betray myself by buying myself super soft clothes so my sensory system can feel safe. I'm not going to put myself into uncomfortable clothing like Spanx. Man, stopped wearing bras and Spanx like years ago. Those things are horrible. I don't know how women wear them. Stopped shaving. I'm stopped trying to conform myself to society's standards of what a prepubescent woman is supposed to look like. I think that's just, it grosses me out. I'm an adult. I was made with fur, I look at it as like a caterpillar, right? Like a caterpillar has all those feelers. Well, I'm a feeler, and these are my feelers. So despite all the jokes and the ridicule I endured about shaving my legs, and I'm not even that hairy, right? Like, when I used to not shave my legs, my husband, which was another reenactment of the humiliation rituals, would routinely crack jokes about, oh man, I see a deer walking through that hair so long. It's like a forest down there. So I stopped doing a lot of things that I used to do to mask, So like, what is it to be a woman became the next question. What is it to be me? What is it to be B? Do I have to dress like a woman, talk like a woman? What does that look like? What does that sound like? I don't want to do any of those things anymore. I want to be the innocent 12-year-old version of me where I can just hang with otters and look for frogs and go fishing and go paddleboarding, and that's what I enjoy, and it may not be what other people enjoy. And then if that's the case, they're not my people, right? I don't need to go somewhere and try to create connection where I don't belong. And somebody recently said something about my post that I had made on Facebook. They're like, if you're so lonely and isolated, you really should go and join a group or something. Well, that's not solving the problem. So it's not. That's just exacerbating the problem, because then I'm seeking connection where I don't necessarily need, the ultimate goal is to learn to love myself in my native environment where I belong. And granted, that means there's not a lot of people around, but that doesn't mean there won't be. Boats do pass on the weekend. You never know. I might go out on my paddleboard and meet somebody in a canoe. So it's lonely as fuck. It is lonely as fuck. But it is necessary. Because if you've spent your entire life trying to be liked, trying to conform, trying to mask, trying to fit in, then you need to be in isolation. And I've needed to be a hermit for a period of time to realize what it is I like and what it is I don't like through my own eyes. You know, instead of like thinking about clothes as like, well, what clique is these clothes going to get me to fit in with? And like, I don't want to wear girly clothes. They're not comfortable. I don't know why women's clothes, excuse me. I don't know why women's clothes need to be so bloody uncomfortable. Men's clothes are just constructed better. They really are. So I'll go and I'm going to buy unisex stuff that is comfortable. That's all I want, is to be comfortable, safe, is to be me, is to like not have to alter myself in any way, shape, or form to gain approval from people. I'm over it. So I'm not editing my videos anymore, except for to do the bare minimum of like to throw in a picture or two, because I don't enjoy it. It takes my buzz away. It makes me hypercritical. It's not good for me. So, I don't know. As it stands, you know, I've got my small little following of people that seem to like me for me, and if people don't like for me, and if I never grow bigger than what I'm at, then so be it. I think that my audience is a niche group of people, and they resonate with me because they too have experienced being neurodivergent, not knowing they're neurodivergent their whole lives, masking, not realizing they're masking their whole lives, because to me, being neurodivergent and being a starseed are one of the same things, exact same thing, or same with light worker. Those are all terms describing the same thing. People who have been born into a planet with hypersensitivities that are here with high vibe feeling of what's right and what's wrong, because we're here to collapse what's wrong and build the new. So if we try to tolerate what's old and what's norm, then we're not doing our jobs. So our jobs require us to be authentic and real and ourselves and feel everything fully. Like, let our hair grow out so that we can be like the caterpillar and feel everything fully and be blunt, be honest. Why it's so nonsensical to me now, like all this like social norms and social proprieties, which is just lying. That's all it is different variants of lying. You know, like my life would have been a bazillion times nicer had my ex-husband just said from the get-go, listen, I'm in love with somebody else. I don't love you. That I would have been like, thanks for the knowledge. I'm not going to get with you. But instead, you know, that's like a hardcore lie. And everybody's like softcore lying to themselves as well as to everyone else. Because if you're showing up in the world, and I'm no different, I was lying to myself. Here I was thinking I was a really truthful person, and I was lying and betraying myself routinely by not letting myself be myself. Where I belong is in nature, near water, near trees, near frogs. And, you know, if I am like a weirdo that lives in the forest and talks to otters, okay. I'm not hurting anyone. Better than going out in the world and pretending to be something you're not, and then even worse, like hurting people because of it. Yeah. So that's our message today, long-winded as per usual, because guess what? I talk a lot. When I have something to say, I have something to say. And that's me, Autistic Bee. Weird and wonderful. If you want to talk with me, join our groups. There's a community for you of other wonderful people that are going through the unmasking, stepping into authenticity. We've got the Friday group and the Wednesday group, and you're more than welcome to join us. How you join us is you go to the Spiritual Warriors. No, you don't. You go to theumovement.com. You go to the events page, and then you register for the Wednesday or the Friday group, and then that sends you off a Google Meet link, because I'm leaving Zoom behind, because Zoom doesn't resonate with me. I'm being authentically me, and I belong on Google Meet. That's my home. That's the new home for our meetings. And then you get reminders sent right to your phone, right to your calendar, and you just click and join the Google Meet. You don't need any apps for it. It's right there, embedded in your calendar, which is fabulous. There's still a few kinks on the website, but, I'll get through it eventually. And, yeah, we'd love to have you there. If you want to have a one-on-one with me to discuss some of the challenges that you've faced in stepping into your authenticity, again, hop over to theumovement.com and register for a one-on-one with me. I'd love to talk with you and listen and hold space for you in your authenticity. I think that's it for me today. I'm going to go and enjoy... one more thing, one more little piece of news is I have started what I'm calling the, it's now 99 days. Yesterday was 100 days of chill the fuck out. So that's what I'm going to do. I am still in recovery from all the years of crazy. And for the next 99 days, my primary goal is to chill out as much as possible, to sit here as much as possible. Every waking minute is, how can I chill out in this minute right now? So I'm going to invite you to join me in that mission, the 100 days of chill the fuck out. Peace. Peace in this painful, ouch heart. It's endured too much. Peace in.